Guys, in this video we're going to have a little work on my Traxxas TRX-4. So, I've got these Bluebird servos here that are kind of getting burnt out because there's no travel adjuster on the radio. Everyone keeps saying there is, but on the shift servos, well on the diff lock servos and on the shift servo there isn't. You can only adjust the endpoints on the steering servo and on the throttle. So, I've got these little gizmos turned up, which is a servo endpoint adjuster, some new servos, and hopefully we're going to get this thing up and running again. We've got Stemp in the house over here.
Still cracking on, girls and boys.
Still cracking on. Here's what the website looks so far.
We're getting there.
So let us know in the comments, guys, what you reckon of that. So that's going to be live soon. Oh yeah, steering servo's knackered as well. This servo's completely died and that one's got noises. I think we're going to swap both of them out and we'll shove this in. So, in order to get these servos to fit, you just got to cut a tiny little bit off of here. And by the way, guys, if you're interested in what these servos are, they're the Bluebird's BMS373 MG Micro Servo. As you can see there, you just got to cut a little bit of that mount off. You can see just there. So, if you go back and watch the other videos where I first installed these servos, you have to be careful when putting the screws in. You can't put the standard screws in because what happens, it pushes up against the case of the servo and it jams it up. So I've used a different screw with a smaller head and a plastic washer. This is actually a piston. So if you go back and watch my last video, guys, where I put these servos in, I'll put a link to that up about here somewhere. Alright, so to start off with, I'm just going to plug them in without the gizmo to make sure that they work. Alright, so we know that the first when we move the first switch, the first position is the front diff lock. Second position, rear diff lock. I know a few people, they swap it over so the rear diff lock comes in, but I quite like it like that, so I'm just going to leave it how Traxxas intended it to be. Alright, so that works. So now what I'm doing, I'm going to slowly tighten these up, and once I start hearing the servo strain, we know we've gone too far, we've got to back it off, because it's easy to over tighten these screws, deflect the case, and then it's just going to strain, so keep an eye out, listen. Oh, there, see, just starting to... Alright, there's happy. They're only cheap servos, guys, so you can't expect too much, but they are metal geared. Be really careful, guys. As soon as you start hearing it strain, stop. If you go too far, you can permanently bend the cases and then you're done. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. Both servos are happy. Alright, so next we've got to put on the horns. I wouldn't use power tools on this screw here because it's too easy to knacker the servo. So I'm not sure what the proper procedure is to set these up, but the way that I do it is to make sure that they're in the middle both ways. Alright, so that's full that way. And we just want to get it so we get the same travel both ways, really. That's the way that I do it. Alright, so a little bit more. You're not going to get it spot on because they want a spline and... Alright, that's good. So next I'm going to install my endpoint adjusters. Now I do want to keep these inside the box, but they're not really going to fit. Hey, look what just turned up, guys. Hobby Hub stickers. So we're going to be replacing all the Kev's RC spares. We're going to be replacing with Hobby Hub. And by the way, guys, we're going to chuck one of these in with each order from the new website. Check it out, guys. Sporting the new logos. What do you reckon? Give us a note in the comments. Alright, so I've got them all wired in now. It's a bit of a spaghetti at the moment. And it's going to be a struggle getting this whole lot in this case. Someone did say in the comments, why don't I cut these down and make the lead shorter? I mean, that would probably be the best thing to do, but it's a lot of work, and if later on you want to use it for something else and you've cut all the wires off. So I'm going to try and keep all these wires on there. I mean, I'm not going for super duper lightweight or anything like that. In case you're wondering how these things go in, look, it just goes in line. You basically pull your servo out of your receiver, stick this thing in between and just plug it back in. Here's the instructions, you can pause that if you're interested. Alright, so to set the endpoints on these, you hold down both buttons together and you get this little red light come on, if I remember correctly. Then you set the servo to the position that you want to do the endpoint in. So in this case, I'm going to do this way first, and then we hit minus to do less. As you can see there, guys, look. Endpoint's going down and down with every press of the button. So that lines up there. And then the other way. So minus, minus, minus. So I reckon about there. So I'm just going to clip him on. And just make sure that the diff lock works in both ways. Diff open. Yeah, it's not fully locking, so we're going to go a little bit more. I'm just going to keep adding it until we see this cable stop moving. Alright, we're in. Diff's open. Diff locks. And there's no strain on that servo now, so I'm going to do the same to that one, and I'm going to put you back on. By the way, when you're done, you're happy with the endpoint, you hit both buttons together to save it, otherwise it's not going to store it. Alright, so it's all wired back up again, it all works perfectly. That's all the diffs open. Ignore the front servo, that needs replacing, it's dead. Rear diff open. Front diff locked. All diff locked. And look at the servos, they're under no strain at all. They're just moving as far as they have to, and that's it. We've got to try and fit all this stuff back into that receiver box. There's no hope of that going in there. Original thought was to extend the lid, but Stempy had a good idea and said, why don't I extend the bottoms, it'll look neater. So I've been having a little look around. It's not ideal, but that's the only thing that I can find that kind of resembles what I could use. So if I stick a bit of that to the bottom like that, cut the bottom out, glue it all in, hopefully that's all going to fit in. Alright, so I just cut the bottom out of here like you just saw. So next, I'm just going to glue gun that on there, glue gun that on there. Alright, so temporarily I've just mounted it up on here. I'm not going to keep it there, it doesn't look very nice. I want to really put it back over here somewhere. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get another battery box and mount that back in the standard location, because the chassis has gone a bit sort of flexy now without that in there. Then that'll give us something to screw this down onto, and hopefully that's going to be okay. So all that I've got to do now, I'm just going to temporarily stick this servo in here. I know these don't last that long in here without a servo saver, but at least I can get the thing working again. Not the strongest of servos, but it does work. Alright, so diff's all open. That servo's not very strong. I think that's why I took it out before, because it's a bit weak. But it does work. Alright, so now that should be all diffs open. This should be front diff locked. Yes. This should be rear diff locked. Yes. And all unlocked. Sweet. And then high and low range. Yes, guys, it's all working. Steering works, but it needs a little bit of work. So there you have it, guys. It does all work, but it does need more work. It needs tidying up a little bit. It needs a better servo. I'm going to put a servo saver on this thing. It still needs a full rebuild. I know a lot of you guys keep bugging me, when's the rebuild, when's the rebuild? But to be honest, I want to do a bit more water driving with this. I want to take it into mud, I want to take it into water. And once it's rebuilt, I'm not going to do it for a while. So I'm going to keep it as it is for a while. It will be rebuilt, guys, but there's no set date. A lot of people do say, Kev, why don't you ditch the radio and get something where you can adjust the endpoints properly? But the thing is, guys, I use this one here for all my RCs up here. So when we go out on a bash and I'm taking multiple RC cars with me, I've only got to take one remote controller. I haven't got to take a whole load. That's pretty much the reason why. Guys, for the first time ever, every single one of my RC car works. That one works, all of these work, the X-Maxes work. Actually, tell a lie, there's one that doesn't work, and that is my very first original Tamiya Manta Ray. But the plan is to rebuild that and get it all going again with as many original parts as I possibly can. So guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, smash the bell button to stay notified. See you soon. Bye.